So realistically, by the time we get to 2020, the expectation is instead of 486 gallon of ethanol per acre, we're going to be at 1,000 gallon per acre. Now that's going to increase. If you go across the cornstarch line, the gallons per bushel, we go from 2.7 to 3 gallons per bushel. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of plants already at that level, but the technology is just amazing. And this is the very most important part. We have to continue to work with technology as we go through the process. Clark Gerkstecker has been on, as our liaison to the Keystone Sustainability Group, and he's done a very good job with that particular process. If you go back to 1987 to 2007, because we've increased our yields, you take a look at our land use, the amount of land to produce 1 bushel of corn, the amount of land to produce 1 bushel of corn has been reduced 37%. These are all because of technology, and we really appreciate the pioneer in the Monsantos and Syngenas and the Dow Chemicals, all the companies that's worked together to help us accomplish this goal. Our soil loss, I don't imagine, Ed, did you put that mower plow away this year?
Actually, once in a while I still use it.
Once in a while you still get it out. But look at the amount of reduction in soil loss in the last 20 years. Irrigation's been reduced, energy, climate, all these things have been reduced because we've had larger yields. And so what else has helped in this process? Well, precision farming. As I drive down the road, I can tell the guys that have their guidance system, the GPS, that looks really straight roads. I figured it was the wife was driving the tractor, but no, it may be the GPS. However, the point is, even on our own farm, we have a GPS that when we plant the corn, we go around the outside of the fields and it automatically shuts it off. On 1,800 acres this last year, we saved 26 bags of seed corn. So we're doing the things that are necessary. The same way with chemicals. We don't apply extra chemicals, we don't overspray because we have the technology to do this. A little bit of no-till farming. But look at the increase in the amount of biotech corn. Now, I will tell you, I just got back from Vietnam and China. You're not going to hear any squawking about biotech corn in Vietnam at all. And China is getting to the point where they're going to kind of forget about it. And as the world gets more hungry, and you're starting to see this in North Africa right now, the terms of biotech are going to go out the window real quick, I think. Because the demand for food is growing so dramatically, and we have produced a good quality product with biotech. And this is how we're going to continue to grow our markets. I want to make another point here on biotech. Just recently, we finally passed Roundup Ready alfalfa. That's taken 5 years. It's been slowed down in the process, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have Roundup Ready sugar beets come online yet this spring, because you guys need it, and it's good, and it's safe. And we're going to use the same thing in our corn. We're going to have drought-resistant corn. We're going to have to pass through the same test. We're going to have corn that accepts nitrogen from the air. We're going to have to pass those same tests. So it's about time that we move forward in the biotech arena. Just take a look at drought-resistant corn. Which one of these two crops would you want to have growing in your field? It's just amazing to me. And I've gone to the Farm Progress Show for 2 years in a row that I've seen the side-by-side in drought tolerance. This is amazing. Only through technology can we continue to grow a crop that makes everybody a better farmer. And we are here to feed and fuel the world, and we can do that. And that is going to happen. As we increase our yields, if you look at the BTUs, the red line, BTUs required for corn production, is a downtrending channel because we're increasing the amount of yields. And if you look at the blue line, the energy balance, no matter what some entomologist might say from Rutgers, the amount of energy it takes to make ethanol is we have 2.3 times the amount of energy that it takes to make it. You know what gasoline is? It's 0.9. It's been there, it's stayed there, it hasn't moved. And we have increased, because of increased yields, and all the technology that we use. We've gone from about just a little under 1.4 all the way up to 2.3 times the amount of energy it takes to make it. Not only that, when we burn ethanol in our tanks, we're reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 51% compared to gasoline. You never hear these things, and we're getting the message out. Now, what has NCGA done for us lately? Clark, I do want you to stand up. I got to talk about you just a second. This young man here has been very influential on our board. We have a 15-man NCGA board. Clark, you were in charge of the 2012 event. You're currently on the ethanol committee, and you're doing Keystone, work with the Keystone group. Well, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, we're going to have a conference call, Clark and I, and we're going to talk about having a co-existent office with the Greens Council, where U.S. National Corn Growers and the Greens Council are going to go and have the same office. And a lot of that is because of all the work that Clark has done. I really thank you very much, Clark. He's been very influential on our board. That's one of the things we've done. This last year alone, we have been beat up so bad. We're getting kind of tired of it. And you guys are too. You're asking us to do something about it. We had a corn farmer coalition. We spent 3 years in Washington putting all this together. And last summer, around Corn Congress, which was July, we put up several banners. This happens to be one of them. This is Scott Sterling. He's president of the Illinois Corn Marketing Board. But we put this in Washington, D.C., in the subways and at the airport. You know, the average person in the United States doesn't know that 95% of corn farms in America are family-owned. They think they're run by corporations. No, they're not. We spent $1.5 million for 2 weeks to influence 80,000 people who were congressmen, senators, staffers, and everybody else, so they'd understand that. Keep that figure in mind. $1.5 million, 2 weeks in Washington, D.C. Since we were successful doing that, we've also formed a coalition called the U.S. Farmers and Ranchers Alliance, and it's a national ag trust and image campaign. This was put together October 12th of this last year. How many times have you heard negative advertising that just turns your stomach and you know it's wrong? This is an amazing group. You know, we are looking forward to increasing the amount of ethanol from E10 to E15. And the livestock groups have not really been too particularly happy about that, and maybe some of you are livestock farmers. But just look at this group of people that finally have had it with negative advertising. We have soybeans, we have farm bureau, we have beef, pork, we have chickens, we have pork, again, we have the incredible edible egg, we have the Southern Peanut Farmers, we have U.S. Soybean Federation, we have Western Corn Growers, we've got United Fresh Growers. These are people out of California. They're tired of being beat up. How many times you open up the paper, you eat the food, you're going to die. If you drink the water, you're going to die. If you breathe the air, you're going to die. You know, we're really getting tired of this nonsense. So essentially, as organizations, instead of us individually putting pennies together to fight this, we're putting our pennies together. All these groups come together, and we're hoping to have a $15 to $20 million campaign coming up real soon. And you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, the fear and the insecurity fueled by the news, popular news, the real cost of cheap food. I've been in India, in Vietnam, in China. God bless America, that's all I can say. Just take it for what it's worth. But you've seen all these advertisements, you know, factory farming makes me sick. Food matters. You know everything. You know what we're trying to do here. So this U.S. Farm and Ranch Alliance, the alliance will work toward a well-funded, long-term, coordinated trust campaign for American agriculture. Essentially what we've done is we've drawn a line in the sand. We said, that's it. We're not going to take this laying down anymore. We're going to fight it. And here's our vision statement. Food production partners will work together to enhance consumer trust in today's U.S. food production systems, to maintain and enhance the freedom of U.S. farmers and ranchers to operate in a responsible manner, and to strengthen collaboration with the food production, processing, and distribution systems. That was not enough. December 3rd, Bart Schott, myself, and several people from our organization went to Las Vegas, and we formed a coalition with NASCAR, Growth Energy, to put a lot of money into promoting the idea about moving from E10 to E15. You asked for it, and we've done it. This is what your national organization should do. Beginning, in 2 weeks at Daytona, I think it's the 16th of February through the 20th, is the beginning of NASCAR week at Daytona. We have 3 series. We have the Truck Series, we have the Nationwide Series, and we have the Cup Series. And in that process, with those 3, they're all going to use E15. And we're going to utilize NASCAR's professionalism to get our message out. Now, if you remember, I'm going to go back here just a second. Our Corn Farmer Coalition tried to appeal to 80,000 people in Washington, D.C. for 2 weeks for $1.5 million. We're going to spend a lot more money than that, but we're going to appeal to 78 million people every weekend. The need to continue to grow our ethanol markets and to promote E15. And in the process, just 2 weeks ago, I think, due to Clark's insistence, EPA moved from 2007 all the way down to 2001 in newer cars, which amount to about 64% of the fleet, if I'm correct, something similar to that. Well, here is what we did when we were out in Washington, D.C., or out in Las Vegas. This is Jeff Coyne and Bart Schott. Bart Schott is our current national president. And we formed the coalition. And this is what you're going to see on TV. You're going to see American ethanol with a flag in the letter E. And underneath of it, NASCAR, American grown. You guys grow corn. American made. We have 400,000 people in this country making ethanol. We're creating jobs here in America. That is going to be powering NASCAR. Hopefully, this is going to be a very positive campaign. In Illinois, we happened to have the opportunity to work with Kenny Wallace about last August or July, and he ran a race down in St. Louis, and we sponsored him, the Illinois Corn Farmers, and you can see car number 28 has Illinois Corn Farmers on it. Just to give you a little example, I don't want to tell you exactly how much money, but we sponsored him for this one race. And during the race, there was a red flag stop. In case you don't know, that means there's multiple cars that had a wreck on the track. And so during that time frame, Kenny Wallace was featured for 1.5 minutes of TV time talking about ethanol. Just 1.5 minutes. And this is a nationwide race, it's not the Cup Series. We did a study and found out that was $248,000 worth of advertising in 1.5 minutes. Now, we're going to do this for all 3 races, every weekend, all season long. You think we're going to get the bang for our buck? I sure hope so. But you know what? Oh no, Glenn Beck, how the hell did he get up there? This is a guy that said that as we use ethanol, we're burning food. Now Glenn, I want to tell you something. We have drawn that line in the sand. We're not going to take this nonsense any longer. We are not burning food. Only 5 to 6% of the corn that we grow in this country is used for food. I realize political theater really gets you all excited. But you got to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth. And then, let's take a look. He has a gas pump with a green E on it. I wonder where we've seen that green E just recently. And he's got 4 up there. And his idea is to talk about E4. Well, it should be E15. But let's just take what he's talking about now. His 4 E's are enlightenment, education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. Well, that sounds to me like a corn farmer. How about you? You think about it. We are here to enlighten the American people. We are here to educate them on what we can do and that we can grow a larger crop every year and produce enough feed and fuel for not only this country but for the world. And we're here to empower the American farmer to do those things. And entrepreneurship, I don't know about you, but I don't know if anybody puts as much money into their job or their business as farmers do without having any idea what kind of crop they're going to get. And another thing, William, I know you have a green E up there, you want to be green. Damn it, we're green. We've been green for generations, and we should be proud of that. But just one second.